The Carolina Panthers have gotten off to a 1-5 start, and majority of those issues can be attributed to both the quarterback as well as the coaching staff. But I think we should go back in time to the offseason to see how some of these moves that the higher ups made have affected the team and how they will affect the team moving forward. And let's get into it right after this.
I'm from the foe. You dig?
Welcome back to The Way I See It. I am Jamario Rashad. This is a Carolina Panthers and Charlotte Hornet fan channel. So go ahead and hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel and help me on my road to 1K. I am trying to get monetized. That would be greatly appreciated. Now to dive right into the topic of the video, the first player I want to discuss is a former favorite of mine. He has fallen out of favor over the last few years with me, is cornerback Dante Jackson. Now, the Carolina Panthers decided to extend him on his rookie deal and sign him to a 3-year, $35 million contract with $16 million, almost $17 million being guaranteed. Now, with the emergence of J.C. Horn early last year as well as this year, it's clear that Dante Jackson is not a number one on this team. So getting that amount of money and being paid and rewarded as if he is a travel guy has just never sat right with me. And one of those reasons is because we actually let go of Stefan Gilmore and actually allowed him to go to the Indianapolis Colts on a 2-year, $9 million guaranteed deal. And this is a former Defensive Player of the Year that we actually let walk out of the door just because we wanted to reward Dante Jackson for being drafted. That makes no sense to me. While we also made the trade for C.J. Henderson, who continues to be terrible week in and week out. Stefan Gilmore was a bright spot on this defense throughout the struggling year last year with Sam Darnold. So it makes no sense to me whatsoever that we would get rid of Gilmore while keeping 26 and C.J. Henderson when the money would have been easily accessible, and letting Dante walk, I don't really think we would have been missing anything. Now, the second person I want to talk about is Ian Thomas. This is our tight end that continues to be so unproductive that it is a shame. He gets a lot of snaps, but neither he or Trimble pretty much has any impact on the game whatsoever. This is another guy that the Carolina Panthers decided to extend this offseason, guaranteeing him $8 million. So between the two of them, that's already like $24 million between, meh players. And this guy, Ian Thomas, I just didn't think that he deserved an extension. And this is just another example of somebody being rewarded simply for being drafted by the team. Now, Ian Thomas, in his 4 years, 4 years so far, this is his 5th year. He has 98 catches, but in 4 years he hasn't even got 1,000 total yards gained, which is just terrible for anybody that you want to take seriously as a pass catcher. 98 catches for 895 yards, meaning that's less than 10 yards a catch easily for a man that's supposed to be, manning the middle and securing first downs and being a quarterback security blanket. Ian Thomas has not been able to do that. He only had one outstanding year, and that is only outstanding by his standards, and that was his rookie year when Teddy Bridgewater was throwing it all over the lot. But hey, man, Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore had 1,000 yards in that season, so we were losing, but he was spreading that ball around, and Ian Thomas was the recipient of that. But since then, he hasn't been able to make himself available or make himself just useful in any way. Now, my biggest complaint is that we actually we actually went and signed Rashard Higgins due to his familiarity with Baker Mayfield, with them both being former Cleveland Browns. But Austin Hooper was one of Baker Mayfield's tight ends, and he was one of his favorite targets, be it that he utilized the middle of the field and was one of his security blankets whenever Kareem Hunt wasn't maybe available on a check down, or what's his name? Nick Chubb couldn't just get the easy first down. Austin Hooper and Baker Mayfield had a very good rapport, and he actually was a free agent this offseason, and he signed with the Tennessee Titans on a 1-year, $6 million guaranteed deal. Now, we chose to pay Ian Thomas, who has not been productive for us whatsoever, when we could have brought in a guy that was familiar to Baker, similar to how we thought Rashard Higgins would be, come in with an already established rapport. We allowed him to go to a different team for less money, and he is a more accomplished and overall better player than Ian Thomas. That is just a terrible move. And it was just a slowpoke move for everybody involved. Now, the Sam Darnold contract, we already know, $18 million for a fifth-year option guaranteed for him not to play at all. This was just a stupid move. For them to then go ahead and bring in Baker Mayfield to tie up another $5.5 million in the quarterback position, bringing the grand total for that up to $23 million, in addition to the $24 million that was spent on the pointless rookie extensions of Dante Jackson and Ian Thomas. This was just a recipe for success altogether. Now, the guy that hurts my heart the most is the guy that's in the thumbnail that majority of you are probably here to hear about. Hassan Reddick was an absolute beast for us last year. He actually made the Pro Bowl, and I'm pretty sure he's going to make the Pro Bowl again. He was the Defensive Player of the Week last week. He is now with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's had multiple double-digit sack games. They are undefeated, and he is looking like he has found a new home, and he is not missing the lowly Carolina Panthers whatsoever. Now, Hassan Reddick signed a 3-year contract that was $30 million guaranteed. Now, that's only $6 million more than the combination of Dante Jackson as well and Ian Thomas. We could have brought back one of our best defensive players from last year. He was one of the guys that brought pressure from the other side, that allowed Brian Burns to get off and actually not always over pursue, and not allow the quarterback to be able to scurry off to the other in the other direction, because we don't have any contain over there. Gross Matos and Haynes have not been able to hold it down as well as I thought they would. Hassan Reddick was an absolute monster in that role last year, and we miss him to the nth degree, and it's seen greatly. Thankfully, Derek Brown has started to take a step forward, and I honestly shouldn't be saying much about that, because I was a big bus talk Derek Brown guy, and he's been playing well lately, so shout out to him. But with that being said, man, that is the video. Those were the offseason moves that I wanted to say that really devastated me as a fan so far, because I think that we prioritized guys that were not the best, and we just gave them a hometown reward, and that's just not the best philosophy for any front office to have. But what do you all think about these offseason moves? Do you think that they were a waste? Do you actually think that they were actually pretty good? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave your comments below. Make sure to subscribe. I am on the road to 1K. And with that being said, I am Jamario Rashad. This is The Way I See It, and I'm out. Peace.